gets to a period, the more complicated the dinner dishes become.
So you just pointed.
Have a seat, Miss Falcone.
I was, of course, thrilled and delighted. He and I go way back. So for him...
Camera's going up. Hey, Mark.
Mr. Norris.
Yes, that's me.
His assistant will bring you up.
A single phone rings in the dead of night. The sound echoes through empty streets and abandoned buildings. Somewhere in the shadows, Tommy doesn't know he's being watched. One wrong move, one slip, and everything could end. His life is about to change forever. The screen is black. A distant, metallic ringing pierces the silence, growing louder, sharper. A faint streetlight flickers, revealing a deserted alley. Footsteps echo softly, but they are not Tommy's. Somewhere, someone is moving, careful, silent, waiting. The camera shifts from the flickering streetlight to the outline of a figure slipping behind a corner, watching. The sound of a breeze through empty buildings carries a warning, almost whispering that danger is near. A close-up of Tommy's shoes walking across wet asphalt shows puddles reflecting a fractured neon sign. His pace is quick, nervous, and uneven. A shadow crosses behind him, just for a moment. He doesn't notice. The ringing phone continues, frantic now, vibrating on a nearby fence post. The screen briefly flashes Tommy's name. He stops, glances around, tension written in every movement. Cut to a shot of a crumpled note lying in the middle of the alley. It flutters slightly in the wind. Words are barely visible. You can't hide. The sound of distant traffic mixes with the low, almost imperceptible hum of suspenseful music, rising slowly. The camera zooms in on Tommy's hand reaching for the note. He hesitates. Every heartbeat seems to echo in the silence. The phone rings again, louder, closer. His head snaps toward the sound. Eyes wide, quick flashes of unsettling details. A broken watch lying on the wet ground. A dark figure leaning against a wall in the distance. The sharp glint of metal somewhere off-screen. These glimpses are brief, fragmented, almost too fast to catch, but enough to make the viewer's heart race. The tension builds as the music rises to a quiet crescendo. Every sound is amplified: the creak of a gate, a distant bark, the scraping of something across the concrete. Tommy slowly bends to pick up the note, unaware of the figure approaching from the shadows. The camera angle shifts to a low, wide shot, making the alley seem endless, foreboding. A gust of wind blows the note from his hands. He watches it flutter away into darkness, just as a shadow stretches toward him from behind. The screen cuts to black. The ringing phone stops abruptly. Silence. The viewer is left holding their breath, knowing danger is close, but not yet revealed. Text appears on the screen. Tommy's life is about to change forever. The suspense lingers. No faces are shown, only movement, shadow, sound. Every detail is designed to pull the audience in, making them feel they are walking behind Tommy, sharing every heartbeat. Every tense moment, the alley fades into shadows as Tommy's footsteps echo against the brick walls. Every sound feels amplified: the distant hum of a neon sign, the drip of water from a rusted pipe, the whisper of fabric as something brushes past. He slows down, sensing something wrong, but there's nothing in sight. Or so he thinks. From the corner of the screen, a flicker shadow darting across the wall makes the viewer's pulse quicken. Someone is following him, and the danger is invisible yet palpable. Tommy reaches a narrow street, lined with abandoned cars, their windows shattered, reflecting dim city lights like broken mirrors. A soft rustling behind him makes him freeze. He spins, heart hammering, but the street is empty. Only the wind moves, carrying a faint, ominous message that something is approaching. A phone vibrates again, this time in his pocket, and a text flashes briefly. "You're closer than you think." He glances around, confusion and fear mixing in his movements. The camera catches his shadow stretching unnaturally long against the pavement, hinting at an unseen presence. Cut to fragments. A black glove disappears around a corner. A knife glints under a streetlight. A door creaks open in a deserted building. These glimpses are fleeting, enough to spark dread but too brief to fully understand. Each flash is accompanied by a soft, high-pitched hum that makes the air feel thick and heavy. The viewer senses that someone or something is orchestrating this, moving silently, always one step ahead of Tommy. Tommy's breathing quickens. His hand instinctively clutches the strap of his bag as he glances into a puddle reflecting the dim glow of the streetlights. In it, he sees not just his own reflection but the faint blur of a figure behind him. He spins around, and the alley appears empty again. Panic starts to creep in. The sound of distant footsteps, too fast, too rhythmic, echoes behind him. His pace picks up. The shadows twist around him like living creatures, stretching, bending, consuming every corner of the street. Suddenly, a sharp metallic click cuts through the night. The sound of a lock turning, or perhaps a weapon being readied, it's impossible to tell. Tommy freezes mid-step. The wind carries a whisper this time. "You can't run." The camera cuts to extreme close-ups of unsettling objects scattered in his path. A cracked phone screen, a flickering streetlight swinging in the wind, a discarded mask that seems oddly familiar. Each element teases danger without revealing the source. The tension escalates as the scene shifts into rapid, fragmented shots. Tommy looking over his shoulder, a dark car slowly rolling down the street, the shadow of a figure moving across a rooftop. Each beat is accompanied by a low, vibrating hum, mimicking the quickening of his heartbeat. The viewer feels the unseen eyes tracking him, the invisible hands tightening the net around him. The streets, once familiar, are now traps lined with threats lurking in every corner. The scene shifts from Tommy to the people who care about him, though we never see their faces. Only hands trembling, doors slamming, and frantic movements in dimly lit rooms are shown. A phone buzzes incessantly on a kitchen counter. The text message reads, "Tommy's in danger." Fingers hover over the screen, hesitating, then type a reply with a trembling hand. But the message goes unanswered. Anxiety fills the air like a tangible presence. Cut to a room where someone shuffles through papers frantically, looking for clues. A crumpled map lies open on the floor, pins scattered across locations Tommy might be, each one representing a pulse of fear. A chair scrapes against the floor as someone leans in closer to the window, eyes scanning the empty street below. Outside, the wind rattles the blinds, casting moving shadows that seem to mirror the worry in the room. Every sound, a passing car, the distant bark of a dog, feels like a threat. The camera focuses on objects in motion, a cup of coffee trembling on a counter, a pair of shoes pacing back and forth, hands clenching and unclenching nervously. A doorbell rings. Silence follows, broken only by shallow breathing. The viewer senses the tension as if it's seeping through the screen. Text flashes briefly. Every second counts. Every choice matters. The weight of Tommy's peril presses down not just on him, but on everyone who cares about him. Rapid cuts show reactions in different locations. A hand gripping the steering wheel tight, knuckles wide as someone drives through empty streets searching. A flashlight swinging back and forth in a dark yard, revealing glimpses of movement. A phone held close to the ear as whispers of urgency are passed between unseen voices. The unseen loved ones are active yet helpless, their anxiety mirrored in the visuals of everyday objects turned ominous by the weight of fear. A tense soundscape heightens the suspense. Low, rumbling bass that mimics a heartbeat, interspersed with the sharp tapping of keys or the scratch of a pen on paper. The rhythm grows faster as the worry intensifies. Quick, fragmented flashes show Tommy's name written on sticky notes, highlighted on calendars, circled repeatedly. Each fragment communicates urgency and emotional strain without showing faces, letting viewers feel the raw panic and helplessness. The screen is dark, punctuated by sudden flashes of light, street lamps flickering, headlights slicing through fog. Tommy's silhouette moves through the shadows, each step uncertain, each breath shallow. The sound of footsteps echoes from multiple directions, fast and uneven, making it impossible to tell which ones are his and which belong to the unseen pursuer. The tension is thick, almost suffocating, as if the air itself is warning him to run. Objects in his path suddenly become threats. A trash can rattles violently as something scrapes against it. A loose board on a walkway creaks sharply under invisible weight. and the wind carries faint, metallic clicks that hint at a weapon nearby. Quick flashes show Tommy's hand gripping a strap, a fleeting glance behind him, a shadow darting across walls, always staying just out of focus. The danger is immediate, unpredictable, and omnipresent. The scene cuts to multiple locations, fractured and rapid, creating a sense of chaos. A car engine roars in the distance. Tires screech on wet pavement as if someone is following too closely. The camera swoops low, showing Tommy's hurried steps splashing through puddles, while behind him, shadows converge, stretch, and dissolve with each passing second. Each sound the splash of water, the scrape of metal. The wind howling feels amplified, creating the sensation that the world itself is closing in on him. Suddenly, a low rumble vibrates through the scene, synced to Tommy's heartbeat, growing louder as the chase intensifies. A door slams violently, echoing through the empty streets. The camera briefly catches a metallic glint, a knife, a broken piece of glass, or some other thread, then cuts away before it can be fully seen. The viewer feels the terror in real time, unable to anticipate which danger will strike next. The scene grows more chaotic. Shadows shift unpredictably. Objects fall or are kicked aside, and Tommy's pace quickens. Every turn in the alley reveals new threats. A trash bag rustles as if concealing someone. A fire hydrant sprays water unexpectedly, and a faint, distorted whisper reaches his ears, "You can't escape." The sounds are layered, overlapping, creating sensory overload that mirrors Tommy's panic. The tension peaks with a sudden stop. Tommy stumbles into a narrow corridor, pressed against a wall. Silence follows a deceptive calm. Then, a soft metallic click resonates nearby, sharper than any sound before. The camera zooms in on a shadow inching closer, its shape unclear, menacing, faceless. The heartbeat in the background pounds violently. Text flashes on the screen. The clock is ticking. Can he survive? The screen is bathed in darkness, pierced only by brief, flickering lights that reveal fragments of Tommy's surroundings. He's cornered now, pressed against a wall of an empty warehouse. Every sound, dripping water, a distant car horn, the scuff of a shoe feels magnified, echoing around him. The air is thick with anticipation, as if time itself has slowed. Shadows twist unnaturally along the walls, hinting at a presence that remains unseen but palpably close. A sudden metallic clatter shatters the silence. Tommy spins, but the warehouse seems empty. The camera shifts to his perspective. A low-angle view down a corridor where a door slowly creaks open, revealing nothing yet suggesting everything. From the shadows, a distorted, faceless silhouette emerges just for a fleeting moment. The audience sees only a hint, a glint of movement, the outline of someone or something that could strike at any moment. Panic pulses through the scene, mirrored by a rising heartbeat layered into the soundtrack. Quick, fractured flashes intensify the suspense, Tommy's hand brushing against cold metal, a rope swaying as if disturbed, a crate toppled over with a loud crash. The rhythm of the edits mirrors his racing heartbeat, each cut shorter than the last. A faint whisper, almost lost beneath the tension, echoes, "It's too late." Tommy's shadow stretches across the floor, distorted and vulnerable. The unseen figure's shadow moves in tandem, inching closer with each passing second, blurring the line between hunter and hunted. A moment of stillness follows a heartbeat of silence where the only thing visible is Tommy's hand gripping the edge of a metal pipe. The camera pans slowly upward, showing the silhouette of the figure looming in the background. The audience doesn't see its face, only the sense of imminent threat. Music swells with low, vibrating strings, creating a tightrope of fear that makes viewers hold their breath. Suddenly, the silhouette freezes and points or gestures in a way that is ambiguous yet menacing. Tommy takes a tentative step backward. A shadowed shape drops from above, landing behind him. The camera cuts quickly to black before any reveal, leaving the scene suspended in terror. Text bursts onto the screen. "This week, nothing will be the same." The final note lingers, the echo of the previous whispers creating an almost unbearable tension.